watching Race to Power with me, Ananya Datta. Here's what is coming up. If you're watching us from India and it was your voting day, we hope you went out and voted. And with that, the third phase of the elections are over in the country. All eyes are now on the voter turnout and how crucial constituencies performed. We get you the day's recap. Over in the United States, it could be the big showdown everyone has been waiting for. It's not between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, but Stormy Daniels is taking the stand today in the hush money trial. It will be the first time Daniels and Trump will be seen in the same room since the case came to light. Polls have closed in the third phase of the 7th-part of elections in India. There are 545 seats to be filed in the lower house of the parliament, and votes have been now cast in 284 of them. We bring you everything there is need to know.
Three down, 4 to go. India has voted in the third phase of the world's biggest elections. 93 constituencies across 10 states went to polls. And many of those ballots featured prominent faces. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is seeking re-election from Gandhinagar in Gujarat. And that is the seat where Prime Minister Narendra Modi cast his vote. Another closely watched contest in this phase is that in the seat of Baramati in the western state of Maharashtra. A Pawar versus Pawar battle. Sitting Minister Supriya Sule is facing her sister-in-law Sunitra Pawar.
11 out of 48 seats went into polls in the third phase of Maharashtra. 258 candidates were in the fray, and we saw 2.06 crore voters were eligible to cast their vote today. Among the 11, we saw key constituencies being Baramati on the top, where we saw a high-stake battle between the Pawars. We are looking at the fight between the daughter and the daughter-in-law. This is the first time perhaps it has happened in Baramati since 1999. On the other side, another key constituency was Ratnagiri and Sindhudurg, where we saw Narayan Rane, the union minister who was earlier with Shiv Sena, was fighting for the very first time on a BJP ticket. So, of course, BJP is campaigning very hard on the seats where Shiv Sena has been a bastion, and this is one of the seats. So, the outcome of this also will be very significant and might change the political scenario, might change the political landscape in the months to come.
Down south, the state of Karnataka has concluded its elections in this phase, with polls in all remaining seats. Union Minister Prahlad Joshi is fighting from the Dharwar seat in a bid for a 5th consecutive term.
The Lok Sabha polls in Karnataka in southern India have come to a close after the second set of 14 seats voted today. 10 days ago, it was the first set of 14 seats comprising southern part of Karnataka and the coastal belt of Karnataka. Today, it was a turn of central Karnataka and northern parts of Karnataka to vote. So, more than 4 crore people have voted and decided the fate of their candidates, more than 220 candidates. So, with Karnataka having been completed, there are 3 southern Indian states, major ones that have completed voting. First phase, it was Tamil Nadu, 39 seats. Second phase, Kerala, 20 seats, and now Karnataka, 28. What remains are the Telugu belt states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Andhra Pradesh, very, very crucial, given that there's simultaneous polls there for the Lok Sabha and also to determine Andhra Pradesh's next chief minister.
In northern India, 2 key states in the Hindi heartland went to polls. In Madhya Pradesh, former Congress leader and BJP stalwart Jyotiraditya Scindia is contesting from Guna, while former Chief Minister of the state Shivraj Singh Chauhan is contesting from the Vidisha seat after 2 decades.
When it comes to Uttar Pradesh, there's a very interesting contest between the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party and the Samajwadi Party that is contesting elections in alliance with the India bloc. What will be interesting to see is if the Yadav family of the Samajwadi Party can claw back the stronghold that it once had in the region. Or will the BJP maintain its stronghold in terms of the Modi magic leading the way forward for the 3rd time in a row?
Voter turnout in the phases so far has been marginally lower than the corresponding phases 5 years ago. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Now to take this story further, senior journalist R.K. Upadhyay is joining us live from Bengaluru. Mr. Upadhyay, good to see you. What was your biggest takeaway from today's third phase of India's election?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway or a bit of a disappointment is that the percentage of voting is not going up.
Right.
I mean, in the first two phases also we saw it was a very lukewarm response, and everybody was hoping that at least the third phase it will pick up. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be. Of course, we need to wait for the final figures, which the Election Commission will be able to release tomorrow or so. But this has been a very, keenly contested, third phase, I would say, because all of 26 seats in Gujarat went to polls today, and 14 seats in Karnataka. Thus, completing the elections in Karnataka. Karnataka has 28 crucial seats, both for Congress and the BJP. So we also had Maharashtra, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, all other states also having their polls today. And I think the highlight was, we saw, some of the ministers, union ministers being in the fray. For example, Jyotiraditta Scindia was there in the election. And then you had, people like Shivraj Singh Chauhan contesting the Lok Sabha election after 18 years. I mean, he had been an MP for 5 terms earlier, but never been a union minister. And, he was responsible for the BJP doing well in Madhya Pradesh just about 3-4 months ago. And now he's being put up, in the Lok Sabha, which means that I think the BJP has bigger plans for him. Possibly he could be getting into Modi's cabinet at the center after having, such great experience being the chief minister for, I think, 16 years in Madhya Pradesh. So, but Maharashtra is very important and very interesting because there, you never know how things are going this time because both the Shiv Sena and the NCP have split and the two groups are in two different groupings, NDA and UPA. So I don't know how the people would have reacted to this situation because the Sharad Pawar family, which is at the center of this, controversial, split in the parties, the siblings are fighting against each other. So that is not a really good, sign for the NCP Supremo, and we need to see how things go over there.
All right, Mr. Upadhyay, thank you so much for getting us all those insights. Let's go across to the United States now. It is the 13th day of Donald Trump's hush money trial and the most awaited testimony is happening as we speak. The adult film actress Stormy Daniels has already taken the stand. Her attorney had earlier confirmed that she will be called in as the second witness. And for a little background, Trump had an alleged affair with actress Stormy Daniels back in 2006. To keep it a secret, Trump paid Daniels a sum of $130,000. Paying hush money is not a crime in the United States. Trump has been accused of falsifying documents to hide this very transaction. Now that Daniels has taken the stand, two things have become absolutely clear. First is that she could lay out how the money trail came about in 2006 and before the 2016 presidential elections, and second, if at all, Daniels and Trump shared a relationship, which, remember, Trump has been denying ever since the case came forward. Also to remember is that Trump was married to his current wife Melania during the period quoted by the prosecution, so that will be interesting to watch as well. Now to get us some live updates, we are being joined by our correspondent Susan Tehrani live from New York. Susan, good to see you. Just moments back, we were just confirmed that Stormy Daniels has finally taken the stand. What is happening in New York as we speak?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, Stormy Daniels took a stand after a somewhat long pause between her and the previous witness. The previous witness was the editor of Random House, the former editor, which was responsible, the publishing company, to publish Donald Trump's former books. It's still not clear why prosecutors wanted that editor of Random House to testify and bring out quotes from Donald Trump's books from maybe the 1980s, where he wrote a book called How to Become a Billionaire. And in there, he allegedly mentions that if someone strikes you, you strike back. I always sign my own checks and whatnot. And then it comes to the issue of Stormy Daniels, Winoshi, that took the stand. And the long pause for that was because the defense and prosecutors were standing next to the judge, basically trying to figure out how far Stormy Daniels could go into detail about their alleged sexual relationship, which again begs the question of how much of that really has to do with falsifying business records.
Right.
And then the third is what we're looking at is how Stormy Daniels could be instrumental in this falsifying business record case, considering the fact that she directly dealt with Michael Cohen if she did. We're just waiting to see why Stormy Daniels is taking the stance and how is this helping the prosecutor's case in any way.
Absolutely. Those are the key questions. Susan, thank you so much for getting us all those updates from New York. All right. In related news, reports suggest Secret Service are preparing for a logistical complication, all because Trump might be put behind bars. This is not for any of the criminal cases filed against him, but for violating gag orders. Just on Monday, the judge overseeing Trump hush money trial held him in contempt of court. The former president has violated the order for the 10th time now. He recently branded the jury members as Democrats and unfair. Trump has so far paid $10,000 for the 10 violations. We would want to point here, Trump is allowed to talk about the hush money case. However, he is not allowed to comment on any of the witnesses, court staffers or people related to them, which does put him in a tricky position given that the court trials and the campaign rallies are overlapping. The judge said, and I'm quoting from his statement, "The last thing I want to do is put you in jail, Mr. Trump. You are the former president of the United States and possibly the next president as well. So as much as I don't want to impose a jail sanction, I want you to understand that I will if necessary." After this, Trump suggested that he would be willing to go to jail.
And then you have the other thing that maybe is even more disgraceful is the gag order, where I can't I have to watch every word I tell you people. You ask me a question, a simple question, I'd like to give it, but I can't talk about it. Because this judge has given me a gag order and said you'll go to jail if you violate it. And frankly, you know what? Our Constitution is much more important than jail. It's not even close. I'll do that sacrifice any day.
Remember, no sitting or former president of the United States has ever been in prison. Experts are worried over the possibility of Trump being jailed. Some say it might affect the Republican contender's loyal base and lead to a potential repeat of January 6th riots.
Thank you very much. So we begin again. This is a case that...
Time for a short break now, but before we go, we will tell you about Vladimir Putin and is officially beginning his 5th term as Russia's president.
Everyone loves a contest. But sport isn't just about victory and defeat. When the GOATs in sport speak, you hear it first on WION.
You have to play good cricket over a period of time.
I should push myself right out of the damn tournament.
We go beyond the stats. Our stories are quoted the world over.
At WION, sport is part of our DNA. Come, join us on this journey. Weekdays 6:30 p.m. IST, 1 p.m. GMT.
Know more? understand better, think ahead. Hello and a very warm welcome. You are watching Gravitas with me, Molly Gambhir. Get the facts, not the bombast. On the 26th of March, dynamic pricing, Baloch separatists, Gravitas cuts out the clutter. Gravitas keeps calm when others scream. Gravitas brings news to life. Weekdays, 9 p.m. IST, 3:30 p.m. GMT. Gravitas. Seeing is believing.
WION Health Resort is unique, the only one of its kind. Experience the 4 paths of natural wellness: yoga, Ayurveda, acupuncture, and naturopathy. Each uniquely customized program improves the whole person to make every person whole. Come to WION Health Resort. Make your reservation at wion.com.
Welcome back. You're watching Race to Power with me, Ananya Datta. Russian President Vladimir Putin has officially begun his 5th term, shutting down domestic dissent and ramping up confrontations with the West. Our next report getting you on the oath ceremony from inside the gilded Grand Kremlin Palace, where Putin vowed to defend the Russian constitution.
Клянусь при осуществлении полномочий президента Российской Федерации. Клянусь.
As the President of the Russian Federation, I swear to respect and protect the rights and freedoms of people and citizens, to respect and protect the Constitution of the Russian Federation, to protect the sovereignty, independence, safety and integrity of the state, to loyally serve people.
Защищать суверенитет и независимость.
Moving on now, South Africans are set to vote this month in the general elections that have been overshadowed by corruption, rising crime and high unemployment. According to a study, less than half of the country's young voters are likely to cast their ballot. In a survey by a Johannesburg-based foundation, just 49% of 18 to 24-year-olds said that they are likely to vote on May 29th. 16% said that they will not vote and another 35% said that they haven't decided yet. This is expected to be the country's most competitive vote since democratic rule was introduced after the end of apartheid. The polls will put the ruling African National Congress's dominance to test. 48% of the surveyed youth expressed an interest in leaving the country. 3/4 of the respondents said that South Africa has been headed in the wrong direction in the last 3 decades. Almost half of the respondents claimed that the government has been unsuccessful in ending apartheid. And now, after 3 decades in power, the ANC risks losing its absolute majority and can be forced to share power in a coalition government. Shifting focus now, the ruling coalition comprising the CPN, UML and CPN parties has managed to ensure a narrow majority in parliament in Nepal. This despite the split of the Janata Samajwadi Party Nepal, which is one of the coalition partners in the incumbent government led by Pushpa Kamal Dahal. The JSPN decided to split after a majority of lawmakers and over 24 Central Committee members applied for a new party at the Election Commission. The party's Federal Council Chair Ashok Rai registered the application for a new party, which was recognized by the Election Commission on Monday. According to party insiders, Rai registered for a new party at the advice of Prime Minister Prachanda to counter Upendra Yadav, who is currently the Deputy Prime Minister of Nepal and has soured relations with the ruling party. According to reports, Yadav was trying to ally with opposition Nepali Congress and the ruling party alliance CPN United Socialist. However, the ruling coalition consisting of the CPN UML led by KP Sharma Oli and the CPN Maoist Centre managed to maintain a narrow majority in the parliament. The Dahal-led government had support of a total of 148 lawmakers against the minimum support of 138 lawmakers, which is required to secure a simple majority in the 275-member House of Representatives. Now our correspondent Saloni Murarka gets us more from Kathmandu.
The stability of the Nepali government is fragile as a few coalitions are grappling with internal party politics while others are trying to forge a new alliance with the opposition. Janata Samajwadi Party, a current coalition partner with 12 seats in the parliament, has just split. This is because the party chair Upendra Yadav wanted to withdraw the support to the government while the other faction wanted to continue to maintain that support. A new party has been registered at the Election Commission under the provision of Political Party Act, to which Upendra Yadav has termed as illegitimate and unconstitutional and is likely to file a case at the Supreme Court. Many of the lawmakers have said that this split has been orchestrated by the Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal himself to continue to maintain majority in the parliament and hold on to power. Saloni Murarka for WION World is One in Kathmandu, Nepal.
And with that, we are wrapping up this session of Race to Power. Thanks for watching.
The biggest democratic exercise on the planet ever. Decoding the multiple colors of this multi-dimensional, multi-layered spectacle. WION deciphers the images and the hues. Sifts real performance from rhetoric and noise, claims and counterclaims, populist pitches and hidden truths. Untangling, unraveling this celebration of democracy.
ready to dive into your daily dose of news?
Bringing you what's trending in the West and all that's setting trends in the East.
And all of this served up with a side of insightful banter.
We don't just bring you the latest stories.
We bring you your talking points for the day.
And while you do that, from the busy streets of New York, I will provide you with deeper insights on